Hello, everybody. Sandey Adelaja here. Good evening, everyone. Nalon Adebayo, welcome. I wanted to say OJIMADU. It's always the next one online. But this time, I'm sure it's not going to be the one there next. Okay, the next one is Shegu Fatumo, Bola Luro, Eric Osadola. She going for Samson Chiji. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. T.Y. Moore. Welcome. She Sandra. Folashade Kikelomo. Rochelle White. Matthias. You already say beautiful family. You already know. Anyway, you were already aware, right? Esther Kuganja, Bola Luro, Emmy Bobby. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We are finishing this week. We are rounding up this week. This week that has been dedicated to family issues, men and women with a wonderful family testimony. And we had planned this session, this one, before we had even started the topic. I didn't even put it together, but God put this together, by the way. So nice to see all of you. Welcome. Apostle Tim is speaking to me in my native tongue. Eweso, our apostle, Pastor Eweso, that's Ijebu language. Thank you. That one I remember, even though I don't remember the language itself. But that greeting, I remember it for sure. So thank you. Welcome, everyone. Well, you know what? We have a lot of opportunity to. We'll have enough time, I suppose, to be able to listen to as much as possible today. But it's going to be a wonderful session. This is a wonderful family, one of the best families out there that you ever be able to meet. And we would like to find out what makes them tick, and what makes their family workable. And it's going to be the the practical analysis and illustrations of all the theory that I've been teaching you all the while, all this week. And of course, this week, I'm going to be talking to the ladies. So it's also a good preparation for that. So please go and share the link, everyone, because people are going to be blessed by this. So go share that link. And let's quickly go and share the link. Go ahead and press the share button. It's under the video there. Let's quickly go and share it. And then from there, we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to go from there. So share the link. Okay, Molly is singing. I sing because I'm happy. There is a mood here in this hour, something already. There is a life coming on, a mood. People are already singing. Wonderful. I'm sure it's because you are already friends with OJIMADUs and you are excited for them. You want to hear their stories, but their future is even greater. So okay, I will just set them loose as fast as possible. I will just set them loose right now. Okay, and here we go. These are the OJIMADUs here. I'm already showing you.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. It depends.
Yes, please go ahead. You have all the camera and the microphone to you all. So who is going to be the first one to speak? Who is going to start?
Well, let me start. Let me have a small intro.
Yes, please.
Well, as most of you know, maybe if all, probably I am OJIMADU. This is my lovely wife, Nkiru. OJIMADU.
But how come you know, I know that before you wedded,
Yeah.
I used to know Nkiru as Nkiru OJIMADU before you even met, I think.
Yes,
how come
Pastor.
after she married, she kept her name?
Well, this is one of those things that like happens, like they say, like that the odds are so little. Pastor, I am also OJIMADU. She's OJIMADU. And surprisingly, this is a surname, even from the eastern part of Nigeria, that is very rare. But coincidentally, we met in Moscow, and that was the first attraction. I was like, wow, it's like, are you my sister or who are you? So, and that's how we met. Somebody introduced us, said, okay, there's another OJIMADU. And that's how we met, and then we became friends from there. So luckily for her, she didn't have to change her surname. Sometimes I was wondering, maybe she should call herself OJIMADU, like women put their knee.
That's a very rare case. And then you became husband and wife with the same
surname.
Amazing. And your family is not surprised at that coincidence.
They are surprised as well. They are surprised, but you know, just like from different states, different places. So it's
even
not
different
like,
states.
Yeah, it's not like there's any possibly maybe we could be related or anything. So it was very surprising, you know, and they found it also very interesting. And
people are writing divine matchmaking. And then we have Tyra here, my lovely parents.
Hello, Tyra. Vicky, Joshi, I know you're watching.
Everybody is greeting you here. They say you are looking beautiful and sweet. And
thank you.
Everybody is greeting you. All right. Please, tell us your stories.
I think let me start. Let me do the intro. Well, I, just like any other person, you know, a young boy, grew up in Nigeria. And sometime in 1988, I got a scholarship to study in the then Soviet Union. So that was how I found myself in Moscow, Russia.
So that's like how many years now?
That's 28 years. 28 years. So it's like more than half of my life I've been away from Nigeria. But it's all good. So I came in as a scholarship student and studied in Moscow. And well, it was an experience of its own, you know, a 70-year-old boy leaving his home.
You left at 17?
I left at 17. Just 3 days after my 17th birthday, I left Nigeria. So
I left at 19.
Me too, I left at 19. So it was a challenge actually, but it was a challenge that really toughened me, I would say, you know, at a particular point. So in school, but if I run, you know, if I move forward, a lot of things happened along the way. Most of you who know history, sometime in 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, leaving especially the scholarship students, you know, at their own, you know, no stipends from home countries, you know, and practically nothing. And as Nigerians, of course, like we say, we had to survive. As Africans, we had to survive. Humans, we had to survive. So that kind of crisis, I would say, kind of, well, started giving ideas. You know, how do I survive? What do I do?
Discotheque.
And then, well, I am, and then I still used to be a very lively person. I mean, I love music. And even at a point, I was like an aspiring R&B singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are my dreams then, talent I had. I was a good sprinter. So, I mean, I had a lot in me then as a young boy that I could, like, you know, choose, you know, to what direction to follow in my life. But then, because of the situation then, and the then Soviet Union, especially after the collapse of the Soviet Union, the African community here, you know, they didn't have, or not just the African community, they didn't have like equivalents of discotheques or nightclubs. So what students used to do then was like, they used to have like social organizations kind of, you know, and once in maybe 3-4 months, they do hire a hall in the restaurant, in the hotel, and, you know, have fun, invite friends, you know, social clubs, I would call them. Most of them were in Kharkov, in Kiev, in Moscow. And in Moscow. Yeah, and in Moscow. So they had different clubs then. But then I was thinking ahead, thinking I was the fast guy. I was like, I need to get this done, not like once in 4 months. I have to do this like, let it be every weekend.
Every Friday.
It wasn't like just like a business or anything. It was something there in me I thought was my passion. Because I've always had this, gift, I would say. I know how to bring people together for any reason. I can bring people together for any reason at all. So I was like, if I could do this, I like to DJ also. I like to DJ as well. I said, okay, what's holding me? With some friends of mine, we put heads together, and we then opened what we call a nightclub then, and it was historic, I would say. That was the very first nightclub where foreigners could go to. Then in Moscow, you had about 2 nightclubs, and they were like only Russians who attended, foreigners there, not near there. You had all these new Russians there with their gold chains, calling themselves mafias. People were always scared of them. But then we opened this place, and people were like coming over, students, foreigners, people used to come from even different towns, and it became not just passion again, it became like a business on its own. And it moved on for many years. I wrote some time ago then, I used to rap and sing. I used to also DJ. So I was popular among the people, it was my passion. I thought that I was like facing. So, and everything moved on for...
But in Russia at that time, was it not dangerous? Because I had the story of, there are 2 brothers, and I think one of them was running discotheque at Leningrad or something.
Yes.
He was one of the first ones there.
Yes.
Was he not killed?
He was killed.
No,
like 2 years, 3 years after we started.
They were one of the first ones.
Well, we started before
Even
they
before
started.
them.
We started. Well, we had the very first in the post-Soviet area. So it was dangerous.
Was it not dangerous?
It was dangerous.
Well, tell us a little bit about, is it true? Because people don't know if somebody was killed or something. What kind of thing would lead to people being killed?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, you had what they called the New Russians then. It was like like in the wild west then. People were armed, like people got their eyes opened. Mafia. Yeah, they were mafia, racketeering here and there. And we faced that issue as well. Police could not help you. So every day we work, we used to pay mafia. Now, whether you like it or not, they will come in, they will come in. This time, you give them their money. They don't care you made any money, you didn't make any money. And it was there. And it could be dangerous sometimes that they might want to take over the business. Or if they ask you for more and you don't give, you could get yourself killed. So
what could have led to the death of the other?
There could be a lot of things. It could be anything. Maybe they wanted to take over the business and he refused. It happened to many foreigners.
Were you not afraid?
I was afraid, but then I thought I had it under control.
Because you didn't know God like now.
I didn't. So the fear wasn't there as such. It was there, but I thought I had everything under control because I thought that paying them would be enough and that's it. But then we were having problems with the mafia. We were having problems also with the police. The police will also want their own money. So it was like a free for all payment. So it happened it's for years. Then it got to some time, maybe 5 years after, maybe in the mid-90s, things started changing. And then I didn't care who was coming to the club. You're a good guy, you're a bad guy. That's not my business. Come, you have fun. So the atmosphere then, and especially what was going on amongst the African community there, or the foreign community then, also brought a lot of danger to it. Most of the foreigners then maybe didn't have documents. The police could come raid the place. They could arrest anybody they wanted. If you didn't pay, maybe they could put the person.
Were you a student at this time?
I was a student. Yes, I was managing. I was trying. I thought that I was catching up everywhere, and until I had my own crisis, I would call it.
Yeah, they said you were walking actually between the rock and the deep place.
Exactly. Until I had my crisis, I had problem at the same time with the mafia, at the same time with the police.
And the school. Maybe.
And the school. Everything was all, wrapped up, in one big shell like that. So it put me into a crisis.
I'm hearing this for the first time.
Yes, Pastor. Yes. It brought my own crisis in life. But then today, when I look back at that, and when that thing was going on, I heard the voice of God. God told me, I've given you this talent. You could bring people together. You could talk. You can pass a message to them. But why are you not sending them the message about me?
Even that time?
That time I heard the voice, but I didn't take it.
Understand it?
I didn't take it serious.
Are you serious?
I didn't take it serious.
But you didn't know what was meant to be born again?
I didn't know what it was. I was like
any other
Christian.
You were Anglican or
Anglican. I was like any other Christian, then. So I heard that voice, and I didn't take it serious. Like one of those dreams or one of those things that come into your head. After a year, it came again. Then I found myself in a deep crisis. Then God told me, like, okay, I called you, you did not listen. Now, I will send you on a journey. And when you come back, you will do what I asked you to do. So, I could compare myself with Jonah, the biblical Jonah.
In the fish.
In the fish's belly, yes. I didn't hear. God sent me on a mission which I refused to do, and I got swallowed by the fish. And then, when the fish brought me out, I was like, that was it. That was it. I had my crisis. I lost everything.
Were you able to finish your school?
Yes, I finished one part of it, but not like the masters, like I would have wanted it to be to the end. So it was my crisis then, with the school issue then and everything. So
things were very dangerous.
Things were very dangerous then. I was hiding from everybody, from that person, from the mafia, from the police, it was like, and then God was like, okay, are you still running? Are you still running? So I now told myself, okay, while I was in my crisis, I said, okay, there's only one solution. If God has called me, I have to prepare myself. I went and picked up my Bible. I studied the Bible, I would say, for about 4 years. 4 years with myself. And I can tell you, God gave me a very good brain. I studied the Bible. I was able to understand the Bible. I was able to remember what I was told years before. I was able to pick the oranges from the grapes. Then I was also in the position, I even studied the Bible with even some other people like the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Baptists. And I was able to understand what differentiates their own belief from mine about in the Bible and about God in general. Like the Jehovah's Witness will tell you Jesus Christ is not the Son of God, he's just Angel Michael. Full stop. So I got all those places, a lot of things. But so like I said, I went through this journey of such. I went through this journey. I studied the Bible very well. I armed myself very, very well. I was like, okay, God, if that is it, then I got to get myself armed. I studied the Bible very well. So I laid a kind of, I would say, spiritual foundation for myself until when I got...
We had not met that time.
We had not met then. I was still in Moscow. So, luckily, I got a job with the Embassy of Tanzania. That's why it's always good to have a mentor in your life. The ambassador then of Tanzania in Russia then, he served 8 years in Nigeria. All his 3 children were born in Nigeria. So they could speak Pidgin, and the wife speaks in Pidgin, Yoruba, and stuff. So when I came there, they brought me in as an aide to their first secretary and the CFO, Chief Financial Officer, because I spoke Russian very well. They didn't have much students. The students were not active as such. I was like kind of smart and stuff. So I was helping the CFO. He didn't know how to drive, so I was driving him. I was helping him translate. We could go to the Ministry of External Affairs together. I helped him translate, and things like that. So it was when I got a kind of balance in my life. And the then ambassador, he loved me so much. The wife loved me so much. he would call me, sit me down, just pouring his wisdom into my head. Because unfortunately for him, I would say, his two children were not that as smart as he could, want. But as a father, he continued. He took me like his own son. He said, I don't know, you're Nigerian, you're not Nigerian, that he got a lot from Nigeria as well. So he wants to put something into my head. So this man, he mentored me. I took a lot of information from him. The CFO as well, I was helping. Same thing, Apart from the fact that they were paying my salary, they were paying me salaries. I did not buy any food stuff. As I'll be driving the man home, he said, let's go to this supermarket. We get to the supermarket, he tell me, okay, you take one trolley, I take one. Oh, that was when my wife gave birth. It was like, you take this for your baby, you take this, you take this, you take this. I'll be like, shy and stuff. No, don't take one bottle of milk. Come on. You say, baby, take 3, take 4, and things like that. So
it was like father freedom.
Yes, father freedom. So they helped me kind of get back to my, they gave me kind of a pillar, back. And it helped me. I got back myself. I had mentors then who helped me get balanced in life. So, and along this line, that was when we also met again. And I was already looking ahead of time. I told myself, time to settle down. I was getting myself ready. I said, I'm going to serve God. I believe that I need to do this job properly. And personally, myself, some people call me, I'm a perfectionist. Because anything that is worth doing, like I say, it's worth overdoing well. That's how I put it, in quotes. So, my wife and I, we both started, struggling then with the help of the mentors I would call. We were able to have a good family.
You left the discotheque business.
Discotheque. I ran from it and it ran from me. So I forgot all about it. Then it wasn't also it was not mine anymore. That wasn't my mission anymore. So I had to move on in life. The crisis.
It was no more attractive.
It was no more attractive. The cloth in my eyes kind of fell off. So I saw that, this is not what it is. Let me start from the beginning. It wasn't about the money or the fame I had then, no. It's now about just being myself, being who God wanted me to be, finding my calling in life. So in 2003, we got married, and God helped us so much as well. I met a lot of diplomats at the Embassy of Nigeria. They helped us, they advised us, they mentored us. Even our wedding was held right in the premises of the Embassy of Nigeria in Moscow. First time ever in the history of that embassy. So the church, we used to go to a Protestant church. The church came to the embassy to have the wedding. It was a thing of joy for the church, for the embassy, for the Nigerian community then. So I started getting myself, being who I was supposed to be, with a good reputation, how it should be. Earned reputation, not on the other side, not discotheque or anything. And that was how we started. A year later, we got our first child, Tyra. All my kids, I gave them names in most cultures, you give names to children based on, some circumstances, all around you. Because I took it as it was a battle that I fought in my life then. God gave us the first child, Tyra. We named her that name. Tyra in Scandinavian means God of battle and God of justice.
Is that so?
Yes, Tyra. So that was the name I gave. I said, this is the name that God has chosen. That's who she is. This is what God has given us. And we moved on. We continued, worked at the Embassy of Tanzania. But I was there kind of, I would say I was start growing how I should grow. In 2005, my cousin here in Ukraine invited me over. He said I should come over to Ukraine, just come over here. I was like, okay, but I need to get settled. I couldn't leave the Embassy of Tanzania just like that. These are people who helped me so much. So, but my contract with them ended at December 2004. And then the chief financial officer was also leaving, and the ambassador was also leaving. So that was how I could, I had the moral, I would say, courage to even leave. So they sent us off well. They helped us even during the wedding and everything. January 2005, we moved over to Ukraine. And then I told myself, it's time to now move to the next level. I've been mentored enough. God has given me a mission. It's time to move to the next level. So that's how we moved over to Ukraine.
Before you continue, then we have to go over to your wife. Let her tell us one half of the story. Come back to you again.
Oh my. Hello everyone. Love to see you all online. Where do I start from? Yeah, the first attraction.
Someone is saying, I love this couple.
We love you too.
Yeah.
I love this couple. People are saying, yeah.
Thank you. Actually, when we first met, when I heard that OJIMADU, I remember when I was a kid that, we used to have these yellow pages of telephone directories,
Yes.
My dad was going through this telephone directory and he saw OJIMADU. It's like, who is answering my name? A very rare surname.
Wow.
So he picked up the phone and dialed.
That's right.
And I was even telling my husband later, it's like I was the one that picked the phone, or the brother picked the phone. And
it was your family?
It was my family they called. It was much later we started picking up the pieces of the story, remembering.
Yeah, then my dad was still alive. So I called him and said, remember, it's like that man that we called that time, he wants to marry me. He's like, oh, Jesus, because my daddy then had, because I got married at 31, he actually thought I would get married to a white person. When I told him I was getting married to an Igbo man, he was so happy because they've been waiting. Though before
they even lost hope that you could not just not marry an Igbo man, but even in Nigeria, that you might not even marry a black, like African, maybe not even in Nigeria for sure.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Because
they have lost hope.
They have. Because when I was still home, they were like, they had these, tribal issues we have in Nigeria. You must marry an Anambra man. That was their mentality.
You are not from
Imo
State.
He's from Imo State. I'm from Anambra.
So how?
But when I announced my own marriage, now they were even ready for any black man.
Any black man, even.
So for the black man to be
an
Igbo,
it was no more a concern for them that is not from Anambra.
Yeah, for the black man to be an Igbo was a great blessing for them, and that was how we got married. And before the marriage, I had my own crisis too, which most of you might know, but this is not the issue today. We want to talk about how we got where we are today. So God has blessed me so much, like I told each and every one of you that.
But you never heard about him when he was doing the discotheque?
Oh, I was the dancer there.
She used to come over.
No, it's not possible.
Of course, she used to come over.
I used to dance. I used to love discotheque. I was there almost every weekend.
But you knew his name that time?
Yes.
Yeah.
We met before the discotheque. We met before
then.
Yeah. But we weren't together. We were just living our own different
lives.
But
you knew that both of you were...
Yeah, we knew we were OJIMADU.
You didn't notice her at that time?
We had our own lives.
We had our own lives. We could just see hello sister, hello sister.
He had his own girlfriend. I had my boyfriend. That was how it was.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was even a time, I came also as a scholarship student, and they used to pay us little money in the embassy. He collected my money.
Yeah, I signed for her.
Yeah, he signed for me and collected my money.
But they gave you?
Yeah, but later I went because we are the only two OJIMADU. So it's okay, if one OJIMADU has collected, that means the other one left. So they gave me.
They gave you?
Yeah, they have mine now.
It was by mistake or what?
By mistake.
They gave me her paper and she signed and I signed. OJIMADU.
Yeah. So how does it continue? And later we got married. It was a very wonderful wedding, just like I couldn't believe that.
You did wedding in the embassy.
Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't believe that I could wear a wedding gown again, because I was 31, Igbo women mentality. I thought
24.
Yeah,
22.
my life has gone. And I got married, and what attracted me was his personality, the way he loved people. And of course, the first was the surname. And I understood.
But you knew the surname before.
Yeah, but when he didn't come for me, then when he come for me now, I knew that, okay.
Somebody is saying Igbo versus Anambra, Anglican versus Catholic.
Yes, it's a very strong.
It was. We'll come to that.
Anglican too.
We'll come to that. Yes, we'll come to that.
He was that. Even, you know, my daddy once told me also, you must marry a Catholic man. You know, then. But now, Anglican, not Anglican, you know, even what women do then is when their daughters are wedding, they will leave the house and say, we said no, we don't agree, but they did all the preparation, you know, for them not to be published in church, to be punished in church, because they usually punish parents. So that was how we continued, and, you know, now we are in Ukraine.
But God maybe allowed that delay so that you will be accepted together, because if it had been 10 years earlier, or 5 years earlier, they would have refused, and maybe you would have not.
Yes,
not
for sure,
right.
for sure. There would been a lot. There would have been a lot of trouble, you know. But God made it so easy that they were down for everything, and we got married, and God has blessed us with 3 wonderful children, you know.
Now, then you moved to Kiev.
Yes, we moved to Kiev, and then I was running a bakery and pastry.
Obina say Anambra and Imo is a taboo.
Yeah, he knows what we are talking about.
He knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, but well, times have changed anyway nowadays. You know, even having Yorubas marrying Igbos. I mean, my 3 cousins, ladies, they're all married to Yorubas. So things are moving forward. Thank God. So when we moved over to Kiev, I was running a bakery and pastry company, a big one.
Big one.
Yes, beautiful one. Pastor Sandey was our number one client.
My
favorite.
I was their client, but I never paid for it.
You never paid, of course, but he never ate any other cake.
I never ate any other cake. It was only their cake I was eating.
And let me tell you a secret. It's like whenever we come visiting him, you know, I bring cake, and maybe we sit, you know, over dinner. You know, usually, you know, you have the main meal, then later you have the dessert. But whenever I bring the cakes over, Pastor Sandey starts with the dessert before we get to the main course. So we had the bakery. We make beautiful big cakes, corporate cakes. It was like one of the leading bakeries and pastry companies then in the whole of Ukraine. We were like setting the tone of the technology, which you used to make cakes then. We had our clients were the big clients, corporate bodies, rich people, and we also used to also make small cakes, and our drivers would go around the town and deliver to restaurants, bars, and all that. And we had our own cafes and pastry shops, so it was good. It was moving very, very well. Then coming over here to Kyiv brought new challenges. At the same time, a new place, and now coming to the church aspect of it, my wife was the chief bridesmaid at Pastor Sandey's wedding. So then I didn't know Pastor Sandey. So I'll repeat, then my wife was the chief bridesmaid at Pastor Sandey's wedding. And in fact, she came together with Pastor Sandey's wife, Pastor Bose. They came together from Nigeria. They were roommates. They were best friends. Then when we now moved over to Kyiv, so they kind of got closer. So they connected. Reconnected, exactly. So then I didn't meet Pastor Sandey and Pastor Bose then. Because I was like, again, religion and stuff. I said, no, from the Bible that I have studied, I don't have to rush into anything. But I never, exactly, I didn't want to mix up anything. But I never stopped my wife from going to church. I said, you go, no problem. I could drop you, I'll leave it. I'm not ready. I said, I'm just not, I don't know. Then I was trying to study, say, who is Pastor Sandey?
Because Nigerians were famous for all.
Nigerians were famous, for what reasons? For the wrong reasons, Nigerian pastors. So I said, I'm not going to be part of this. People were writing, even sometimes I could, Google. You could hear negative comments, positive comments. I said, okay.
It's always been trailing.
Well, always trailing, always controversial,
Always controversial.
So,
in fact, there were some Nigerians, even here, who were Russians. Not now. Now it's Nigerians now are the ones who are defending me. They believe in me now. But those days, Nigerians themselves were so skeptical that they themselves would say, Niger boy, we know, there is one Niger here. One Niger guy started a business. If you see the way the Russians are taking their money to you, he is taking their 10%. That Niger guy, how is using religion? Niger, if Niger, what can Nigerians not do? So many people couldn't believe that this was genuine. People were just thinking this is one Nigerian that found his own way and that is true religion. So I'm sure you are hearing all kinds of comments like that.
I was hearing a lot of things. So, but I wasn't in a hurry to judge. I'm the kind of person that you cannot just wow anyhow. No. I get to the bottom of it. I have to get convinced. Before I make a step, study it very thoroughly before I move forward. My wife knows that. My wife could go, "Ooh, yeah," she runs forward. I have to pull her very emotional, like most ladies. I have to pull her practically by the hair and say, no, you get back here.
Yeah, critical thinking.
You have to critical thinking. So I studied further. I said, okay. The first time I met Pastor Sandei, I don't know if you remember, there was an issue in one of the daughter churches, and the members were invited. My wife was supposed to come over, but then she was nursing our baby girl there, our baby daughter. So it was about very late in the night, around 11. So I was like, no, I'm not going to let my wife leave. This late. Moreover, I said, let me go there and see, what is this all about? So I came over to Kiev then. So that was when Pastor Sandei was like, okay, this is Nkiru's husband? I said, yes. I came over, I shook him, I hugged him. Then I sat down, I listened to him, as the interaction was going on. And I got wisdom coming out from him. I was like, wow. It sounds good. Sounds like music to my ears. And the questions, the issues that were going on, and the questions that I asked, I've never seen anybody who could have given such answers, that goes deep, to the source of the question. So I was impressed. I wasn't still like all that convinced. So but then during one of the anniversaries of the church, I came to visit. I said, okay, let me come over anniversary. I said, okay, honey, let's go. So we came, I saw the stage, the tens of thousands of people, and I was listening. I was like, okay, Pastor, tell me what I've never heard before. He preached, other pastors preached and stuff. What got me, because I pay attention to some other things that people might not pay attention to. I paid attention to the common man sitting there. Who is he? Where was he coming from? And where is he now? I heard testimony of people. I saw hundreds of former drug addicts, former drunks, people whose lives were shattered, former prostitutes, people who would come over, give their testimony, and you see that this one is like a leader now. This one is like an MP in the local, in the city or in the state. This one is not a pastor, so he's a businessman. I was like, hey, is this possible? I saw these people. I was touched. For the first time, I saw a church. Not a church where the pastor will do and people will fly, to the other end of town and things like that. People who were not sick. Not magic. People who were not sick, all of a sudden will be healed of something. But then I saw people that I had seen somewhere before in my town. I've seen them change. I remember two guys that came when we moved over in Kiev. They helped us to, moving furniture into our house. They were like former, because they were part of the church. They were drug addicts, in fact. At a point, I had to tell them, say, please, let me do more of the movement. I helped them because they were like moving here and there, like falling over. But I saw them a few months later. They were changed, man. Successful businessman already. I was like, wow. After the anniversary, I met the two guys, spoke with them. The wisdom that came from their head was like, wow.
These were Russians, eh?
These are Russians, yeah, Ukrainians. So then I said, okay, fine. Then along the line, we came to visit Pastor Sandei, my family. So you knew
that this was not just religious church?
It wasn't just a religious church. It was a church that was giving results. But while I studied my Bible, I got that it's not about what you say. It's not about the title you give yourself. I still say it today. Today, people, I don't even try to put that prefix pastor to my name. Let people call me who I am to them. A lot of people call me Pastor Obi, some Mr. Obi, fine. A lot of people call me Daddy. Daddy is not like the daddy of the GOCs or GCs or GOs, you know, some other places. Daddy aspect, that's who I am to them. Uncle, because I am an uncle to them. By the fruits.
Like a father.
Like a father. So that's the thing. So I saw these things. I saw lives changed. I saw people transformed. People that went through metamorphosis, I would call it. I was shocked. I was like, okay. Then they invited over, I think for Pastor Sunday's birthday or something, you know. Again, I came with the cake and stuff. Like I told the story earlier, that Pastor Sunday stepped out. He loved our cakes. Yes. You know, anytime I brought the cake, you know, we sit over the dinner or lunch. You know, usually you start. Usually we start from the food, then you get to dessert. No, Pastor starts from the dessert.
You know, I think that you have to still go back to that. Maybe sometime in future, because they had good cakes, yes, good salfets. You know,
let's continue. So when we came to visit Pastor Sandey, it was the first time we really, you know, spoke, you know, one-on-one. I'm not boasting, but I'm somebody right from childhood. I've been into current affairs. I read everything possible. I did a lot of reading. I put a lot of knowledge into my head. So as I grew, I go into everything. I need to get the knowledge. What is what? I mean, I could sit down and talk to a doctor and explain to him tell him what's
erudite.
What is written there, his syllabus and everything. And I got, even till date, I mean, having to do whether it's politics, sports, military. I'm an arms specialist, you know. I'm a military analyst. We can talk about aerospace, we can talk about astronomy, we can talk about anything. So, but when I talk with a lot of people, I've seen very few people who are kind of all around, who could go into practically every topic of life. But then I met Pastor Sandey, and then it was like, within 30 minutes of discussion, we've kind of covered every aspect of life. I was like, wow.
Not just religion.
Not just religion. Even we spoke little about religion. That's one thing about Pastor Sandey. When you meet him for the first time, he doesn't put religion into your head. The topics will come up themselves. They will come up themselves. So personally, I avoided discussing religion with him, you know, from the beginning. We started with every other thing we could talk about, from football, World Cup. Nigeria just won the World Cup then on the 17th. These one down. There were a lot of things we spoke about. You know, Nigerian politics. He was an all-rounder. The knowledge I got there, and I got somebody to teach me some things, even in things that I know. I was like, wow, that's it. And then when I put all these things together, when I saw people who were coming with testimonies, people who come to fall on his legs, you know, thanking him for their lives, families restored, people back to their lives, you know. I mean, I was like, it's not about him anymore. It's about the fruits. It's about the results. It's about, how do I put it again? Life transformation. It's not about calling him pastor. It's about looking at the results, looking at his fruits. That was why in one of these evening meetings, I said, we are the fruits of Sandey Adelaja, FOSA. I gave that acronym, FOSA. I was looking at the fruits. That was why I made that comment that day. So when I met him finally, and then started going to church, seeing people, I wasn't not only about what was being preached, but again, the people. Looking at people being changed. And I saw a church who are very interested in people growing. People growing. Pastor is never worried about any of his younger pastors being more popular than he is. He will even say, please go. He will come around and look. You've been a pastor in this church for how many years? Do you have a church? No. He will call, look at elders. Please, help this guy. Help open it. Let him go. Let him take out his... Yeah, let him go and share his knowledge. He pushes people forward till date. You're a businessman. How are you moving on? Please, if you could connect him with somebody else, come on, move, go on there. You know how to do this. Come on, go influence society. And that helped me. He told me, said, look, and I listened to his preachings, you know, how he got to where he was, where he is today. He said, a black man in Ukraine, having thousands of churches under the same mother church, with 99% of the people, Ukrainians, the black man, like he always told this story at the beginning. They told him, oh, you're the black man. You go and rap or sing or play basketball, football. Come on, what are you going to tell us about religion? That was what they told him. But he told me, Obi, listen, never let your color, your height, your sex, or whatever where you're coming from, be a hindrance to you. You are now new in Ukraine. Never let whatever anybody tells you. Never. That should never stop you. I got that. I got that. I knew that no way I had to grow wings. I didn't see any borders again. I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about somebody else. I went back, analyzed all this, and I said, that is it. I had a bakery. I was like, then the production factory was in the town of Boryspil, just on the outskirts of Kyiv, where you have international airport. So I said, okay, this is Boryspil. This is my town. I should own this town today. That was it. I could get up, go to the police station. I'll knock and say, I want to see the chief of police. They'll go like, what do you want? But I'll go comfy. I said, no, I need to see him. What do you want to see him about? I'll say it's personal. They'll cover the man, tell him, the black man is there, say he wants to see you. And he's kind of saying he has to see you. Okay. I would come in, see his eyes were like, wow, speaking confident Russian. I'll come in, greet him. I'll tell him, say, oh, wow, look, I'm such a person. I'm new in the town. Just came to see him. It's like in my tradition, it's like when you come to new town, you go to see the chiefs, you go to see the people, introduce yourself to them. So that's what I've come to do. I have a business here, and I hope that anytime maybe I could pick up the phone, call you for advice or anything. They will go like, okay, give me the phone number, please. Give me the business card, please call anytime. And that was it. I met a lot of people that way. Then apart from that, I started going into the life of the society. My calling, I started using my calling. Personally, I'm a social pastor. Apart from the fact that I speak from the pulpit, but I'm more into working with people, helping people, raising people, working with the youth. I started being part of the life of the town of Boryspil. One night, I called, I found out where they had the mothers, the orphanage. I made cakes. About 11 p.m., I went and delivered them to the kitchen. They said, who are you? I gave them all the paper. I said, this is hygienic, everything is fine, just a gift for the children. And I run away. I never want to show up on things like that. And I did this every weekend. Every weekend. The one day I came again, I didn't know that the director of the orphanage had laid ambush on me, because they told her that anytime I come, I drop the things and I practically run away. I don't want anybody to thank me or anything. I mean, for kids, for orphans. So she stopped me as I was running. I was like, stop. You are Mr. Obi? I said, yes. I said, okay, come on. Wow. How are you? You've been doing this all along. Who are you? What's that? I mean, I explained. I said, come on. You know, sometimes I told her, I feel like an orphan sometimes. I left my parents. I came into a new world, a new culture, a new climate, everything. So I said, like, I'm an orphan. So I understand what these children are facing. They've been facing worse things because I'm a bit grown now. I mean, my parents raised me. I said, if there's any kind of joy I could give them, let it be these small cakes. And that was it. Anytime we had any cultural event in the town, I would come up. My company would come and sponsor World AIDS Day, fight against racism, against use of narcotics, everything. I would come up, I would sponsor, I would go down. The town knew who I was. One day I was invited by the mayor of the town. I was surprised. I was like, introduce himself, say, I've seen you, I've done this again. I said, oh, okay. I said, oh. I said, I might be black or anything, but I said, you look good. I'm in this town. My kids are growing here. We are part of this town. I'm not going to be at the corner there doing anything. No, I have to be part of this town. And he was shocked. So he was like, okay, if you need anything, any question, any help, please, that is it. Ask me what I say that it's like I'm too involved, you know, I'm mostly involved with children, you know, the youth, family events. And he called the commissioner of the town in charge of families, youth, sports, culture and stuff. Called him the lady. The lady saw me, the lady was like, I know, we used to like, meet at events and here and there. We sat down, discussed, I told him, yeah, I will always help, and I don't need anything. This is my service. My service, not just to the town. This is my calling. It's my calling, my service to humanity. And that was it. So I moved around the orphanages. Let me go back to the orphanages again, but it's something that's so emotional for me. They had about 30 kids there. I agreed with the director that any day any kid will have his birthday.
Do you know Uju or OJIMADU?
That's my sister.
That's my younger sister.
She's watching from Nigeria.
Yes,
Hello, UJ. Hello, we love you.
Yeah, so any day any kid had his birthday, we arranged it. That morning, I will bring the cake myself, and not just a cake with the kid's name on it. Happy birthday, Anton. Happy birthday, Sasha, or what. We'll wake him up with that cake. Giving them a kind of sense of belonging, acceptance, what they lacked. And this helped a lot of children.
Maddox is saying, Maddox.
That's my younger brother.
Hello, Maddox.
Hello, Maddox. So this helped so much. We could put smiles on the faces of these children. Anytime these kids see me anywhere, they will mob me until I fall. That's like that. That was how we got involved with the town. Every activity of the town, sporting events and things like that, I moved into the town. And let me tell you, because of this, myself, my family as a family, my company, we got numerous awards from the city council, signed by the mayor himself, thanking us for one thing or the other for taking part in activities. Significant. And it's not like they call and they do have, special days they want to kind of recognize people. They will invite my family. They will announce us. We'll come up to the stage. The mayor himself will give us the award, tell the people, say, look, this person came from thousands of kilometers away. He is even more active, picking up his civic responsibilities.
Somebody knows your father is saying you are a true son of your father.
Oh, thank you very much.
The daddy I didn't meet him.
I took after my dad. That's who he was. So that's how we got recognition in this town. How did we get our permanent residency? People who live over here, this part of the world, you know how much you need to pay, even if it's due, if you are due for it. But because of the service that we gave, it was something that was done for us. It wasn't done through anything. We earned it. It was given to us in less than a month. People stay 1 year to get it. Less than a month. Because I was seated when we applied. I was seated. The head of the immigration department called me, said, hello, I was like, oh, hi, sir. He said, are you sitting or standing? If you're standing, you better sit down. I was like, I think I should lie down. I said, I'm lying down already. I said, what's up? He said, your documents are out. I said, what? He said, your documents are out for you, for your kids, everybody. You come over, come and sign. I said, when can I come over? He said, anytime. I said, I'm already at the door. Within 15 minutes, I was there. The family, we signed, and we got our documents. Permanent residence in this town, in the country. So,
Maddox and Uju are arguing. Maddox is saying, not true. I'm the one who took after her.
Okay, you win today. I'll give it to you today. It's all right. Yeah. Maddox, he's part of the Brekete family in Nigeria. Yeah, also.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. He presents Brekete family as well. They also try to help the common man there get their voice out.
The family.
To solve their issues. Yes. He's a presenter. He's one of the founders. Okay. So that's how that's how we got over, moved on. And let me just round up this way. It got to the point that in the town of Barispo, they used to present every 10 years they bring out a book called Who is Who in Barispo. It's like the leading politicians, businessmen, people with influence in the town. Would you believe it that I was called that the mayor said that I must have my name on it? So let me show you. This is the almanac, I will call it, that was given in 2011. It's called Borispo Region. It's written in Ukrainian. It lasts for 10 years. The next one,
the state, like the region.
Yeah, in the whole state region. Mm-hmm. It comes out once in 10 years. The next one will be out in 2021. The next one, I was called, and here it is. I'm there. They put me on my birthday. That's my picture. I think I look younger now. with adverts about our cakes and everything. About me, in a small story about me, OJIMADU Obifule, and about me, and just recognition. This is a book for 10 years, and you have maybe about 50 people maximum in this in this book. So being black, being a foreigner never hindered me, and it doesn't hinder me today. I learned this from my brother here. I'll call him Pastor Sandey. He said nothing should limit you. Nothing. Think of it, dream of it, and most importantly, work hard. Move forward. You shall surely get it. And I'm living, my family, we are living on those principles today. And God has blessed us so much. Today, we have a church. We have people. And when I got my calling that I should now head a church, God called me. He said, you are Abraham. I'm going to make you a father of many nations. I didn't understand the dream. I was like, but now when I look back and I remembered, I saw in the church we have people from different countries. We have Indians, we have Ukrainians, we have Africans. We are mixed up. A family. So it's when, like I wrote.
Even though you are still running your business.
I'm still running my business. I have my family. I still have to do the ministry. And I'm catching up. So, like I put it not long ago, I used to rap and sing. Now I preach and teach. I used to DJ. Now I spin the Bible. It is a miracle. It's not that I was a hooligan or anything, but then the God-given talent, I focused on something else in the wrong ways. Then I used to gather people into the club to sing. Now I'm gathering people to God. It is a testimony. This is my testimony. And in honor of that, our first child, Tyra, I told you, the name in Scandinavian means God of battle and justice because of the battle we fought. The second child, a girl, Victoria, God gave us victory in the battle.
Even Tyra is saying, I didn't know that you rap for my father.
Now you know, baby.
Yeah, you used to rap for her when she was
small. I used to rap for her to like, relax and chill, So our second daughter we call Victoria because God gave us victory over all the problems that we had. And the last boy, our boy, the boy, we call him Joshua. Joshua is the leader of his people. God hasn't just given us victory. He's leading us further. And he will also make us lead other people. That is my story. And the story still continues. The dotted lines still continues.
Anything?
I want to add that apart from everything that we went through, like I will say, yes, we run a church, but we are more focused on the people. We have more people outside the church.
It's not about religion.
Yes.
It's not about religion, yeah.
We have more people that we take as our children outside of the church more than in church. Because Pastor Sandey has taught us that it's not about the four walls. It's about saving souls. It's about saving lives. It's about giving life to somebody.
You need to look at.
Okay. Yeah, and that is why, I have this Women of Double Honor NGO that I run. And apart from that, there is one my husband runs together with some other people, Maximum Living Club. And all these places, all these things we do is just focused on changing lives. Because who needs your Bible when you can't give him food to eat?
That's it.
Who needs your Jesus when you can't give him a cup of water to drink?
That's right.
And these are all the things that Pastor Sandey taught us. Though he's been teaching us for years, we just got it not long ago, but we are coming, okay? Yeah.
Yeah, and she mentioned about these NGOs that we have. She works with women because we live in the city of Kharkov now. It's a city where you have a lot of students. We don't want them to make the same mistakes that we made. Yeah. And that is why we are here. That is what a mentor should do at the end of the day. She takes care of the women, the young ladies. People will call her in the middle of the night. People will come and tell her stories, tragic stories about their lives. She will comfort them, console them, and counsel them, what I call the 3 C's, And on my own side, with some great guys, it's good when, like Pastor used to say, surround yourself with like-minded people who are moving forward. When I got to Kharkov, with my platform that I have already, I met young and vibrant guys there, students there then, who were also facing the same direction. So I was like, it's not about me anymore. We have to spread our tentacles. So we moved up the organization that was started then, called the Maximum Living Club, about how do you live your life to the maximum if you're gonna die tomorrow. Amen. That was the meaning. It's about coaching people, making people, find themselves, their goals. We try not to make it so religious. We have Africans, we have Arabs, a lot of people, and Muslims, Christians. No, every month we have summits where we try to teach people. We have workshops. We invite people over to kind of coach and do a lot of things. So I will say a big shout out to Orofe and all my girls there, all of you, Sam, all of you. I love you all and thank you for the good work that we are doing. And in this club, we now increased it. We now have we registered it. It's a registered NGO called the Maximum Living Incorporated, which has 2 branches. One is the Maximum Living Club, which is a life coaching group. And the second one is the Maximum Living Care. It's a charity group. Last year, those of you read the news, you heard what happened in Ukraine. A lot of people were displaced. They moved from the Donbass region, the Donetsk and Lugansk, over to this place. Many people were displaced. We had a fundraiser. We got our people, even the ambassador of Nigeria then, Ambassador Fedipe, was our special guest of honor in that first fundraiser. We raised money. We visited camps. We took up people, some of these displaced people wanted to move over to another town or to pay house rent and stuff. We helped them. We bought food. If you're my friend, check out my page. You will see the groups, Maximum Living Care, Maximum Living Club. You'll see what we do. We moved, we changed life. We help people. We give them food. We do entertaining the kids because the trauma that children face in times of war is terrible. We work, we try to change life, and that's what the motto is: giving destiny's gifts. Destiny's gifts.
But I also do a lot of work for families now.
Yes.
Your Pastor Nikki and Pastor Nkiru has a club for the ladies as well. Yes. But you have come up with, everybody knows this is Russian. Everybody knows, most people here, they know Pastor Nkiru's book, Fund by Mercy. But you also have, actually, I have to let you show the books because here I show properly.
Okay.
I try to show. Yes.
This month, October, is the 13th anniversary of our wedding. So it's like we're still in the celebration mood. And because of what we see around, a lot of families come to us for counseling.
And young men too?
Young men too. People who are still looking ahead, who are about to marry. From the teachings we've gotten from Pastor Sandey, from the HMTs, from the retreats, I strengthened myself further. She did as well. We have, I would boldly say it, a very happy home. Our children are growing in love. They are growing in faith at the same time. So we try to put this information together.
Now, before you go on, maybe you don't need to answer now, but you can answer later. But I just want to whet the appetite of people who are listening. That we were talking with you a few minutes before we started the program about the problem we have with Nigerians killing their wives. Yes, and that is, Nigerians have not been able to manage the successes of their wives, So, but the way you people have been able to do it, and unfortunately, I have to tell you that, and I don't think anybody should make this tribal or anything, but I personally went through the list of the 21 people that were killed in America, and where husbands killed their wife. 19 of them were Igbos, and one was Edo, and one was Yoruba. So, but 19, that is Igbo. And of course, somebody says it's because Igbos bring their wives from home or something. But I also know Igbo. I know you. I know John. And even though personally, Igbo ladies are my favorite women because I like their energy. The Igbo women. But also at the same time, even though I like their energy, but I would not like to marry them. I'm sorry. I don't want, I'm not to offend my Igbo sisters. I don't want to marry them because they are so caring and so loving and so energetic that it will suffocate you. And I could understand where the men are coming from. The men that end up, going over and killing their wives, it's like, how can you say you can understand them? You know, I can't say I understand why they kill or killing. I don't say I understand the killing, but I just say I understand probably the tension that led to that. But how have you been able to manage in your own family? Because this is your books, and that's why I want you to talk to us about this, your books. How can we get it? What are the plans? How can we learn? What can we learn from your experience?
Let me just give a brief answer to what you said concerning the Igbo families, you know, the trend having Igbos killing their wives. Well, Pastor, like you correctly said, the Igbo women they're quite very energetic and very industrious at the same time. And it has been the inability of the husbands, or will I say the couple, to handle.
Mostly the husband.
Yes, the husband, to handle this energy coming out from the women. You know, the Igbo men also could be quiet, enduring.
But I like that they are more quiet in the homes than in business. In business, exactly. They are aggressive, but in home, the wives are more aggressive for some reason.
Well, if it's and those ones who could not handle it properly, handle their wives properly, handle the energy properly, they end up taking their lives, or maybe breaking their homes. I rather believe that my own principle is people in martial arts know this, the principle of jiu-jitsu, where use the energy of your opponent to dislodge him, and that's what you do. So instead, not like you're dislodging your wife actually, but use the energy to set her to the right direction. You should never shut her up. If you shut her down, it will be worse. In general, the man has to be wise and smart at the same time, and most importantly, patient.
But I can't understand, because in your own family, there is a level of freedom that your wife has, that there is nothing like shutting down at all here. She is totally fulfilled. She can do anything she wants to do. She travels, she engages, she's so free.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there is no major crisis like that.
Yes, Pastor. We put all these things into the book. It's called Who's Right? He Said, She Said. These are the secrets for a successful union. And one point that we underlined here is this: the man and the woman, make sure you give each other space. When I mean space, it's not like freedom, utmost freedom. No. A woman doesn't belong to the kitchen in the sense that is what she has to be doing. That is her calling. No. She can take care of the kitchen, but let her find her calling. Let her focus on her life. Let her engage, put her energy into her calling. That is number one. A man should never shut the woman down. He should never be like, I'm the boss in this house, and whatever I say goes, and that's it. It's not a police system. It's not. She's like Pastor Sandey have been preaching, all week. She's not. You're not like the teacher and she's the student. No. You have to give her air of freedom to, express herself. Maybe you want to say something?
Yes, I want to say that it also takes a wise woman.
That's right.
To know that she has to, I always tell everybody that I am very stubborn. And I thank God for my husband that cools me down, makes me check it. But I've also learned wisdom that, even if he allows you to have your way, also have a goal. What do you have for your family? What makes families break is that you want to have this freedom and forgetting that you are not alone. You are no longer single. You have people that, are attached to you. So if you have this freedom, even when you're stubborn, like my husband, if he sees that I'm that stubborn, he just lets me go. Sometimes I hit my head on the wall and wake up, then know that what I'm doing is not good, or I will think about it again as I go with age, and I know that, Nikki, listen, you want a happy family, so it must not always be your way. Your husband is cool and quiet, but that doesn't mean that you should override him, you understand? So this wisdom and more is what I wrote personally, how to really guide women that want to get married, or those that are already in marriage, or men that love their women, or also singles that might want to get married tomorrow. to learn some, little tips that I use, to make my marriage sweet. I can shout it on the top of the mountain that my marriage is sweet. It's not because we don't have quarrels, but we have known what I call technical know-how, marriage technical know-how. We know how to do this marriage thing. And we know that we are in and the key is thrown away. So if you want to make it sweet, because some call it prison, but for me it's not prison because I'm giving all the freedom in the world that I need. But I know that, knowing that I have somebody that loves me so by my side, I have to always also make him happy, increase his ego and a lot of things. Sometimes put my head down, make him as if he's the one that's bringing up all the ideas, though you know that you do it together. So it takes a wise woman, and I want to even use this opportunity to thank Mrs. Stella George. She also taught me a lot. Dr. Adelaja, she taught me a lot, because the times I used to interrupt my husband when he's talking, but so will look at me, she will pinch me, what are you doing? But, watching them and most people that, all the things that I learned from Women in the Truth that Pastor taught us, I understood how you should make your own, You can make your own. As Pastor always said, even if he's married to a devil, devilushka, a devilish woman, the woman will still be happy. He knows the know-how. And this is what I took for myself, that I can make any man happy, and we all can. If you really get some understanding and just, cut off your ego, because I am very wild, but I'm knowing that I want to make my
So you are a typical Igbo girl.
Yes, I am.
But you've been able to manage it.
Yes.
Through the help of your husband.
Through the help of my husband and the teachings, the knowledge that I get, and the people that I look up to.
Yes, Pastor, it comes both ways, like in the cases where these men kind of kill their wives, sometimes when the wives feel this air of freedom, some of them go wild. It's true, Pastor. If they don't have that knowledge, the wisdom to know when to apply the brakes, they get wild and they get lost. And if the husband is not the wise one or the patient one, that's it. That's when you have such cases. The husband killing the wife. So and
it's not always killing. Some people just
divorce or just leave. And when you look at these lovely women, I know some lovely women, lovely with kids, but the husbands are not there. I blame the guys. I always blame the guys.
Doesn't matter
How can you leave? So if you're watching today, please, and you've left your wife,
it doesn't
you
matter
left her
what
with
happened.
no matter. Go back.
Yes.
It is your responsibility. You cannot run from it. You are the foundation of the home. You are the foundation of the society. When you're not there, your kid, your daughter is going to start following sugar daddies, because she will be looking also for a mentor, for a father figure. The man is the foundation of the house. If you're out there, you're having issues with your wife, please go down. Think about it. What are you not doing right? Some people say, why do I always attack the guys? I say, you can study your wife. You're the head of the family. You know how to do it. Take your responsibilities. As the women also learn what to do in the whole system. The man, you can handle it. It is possible. You cannot run. You cannot be an ostrich. You can't hide your head in the sand. You can't run away from a responsibility. How can you leave your wife with a kid or 2 or 3 or 4? I've seen cases like that. No matter what happens, it is wrong. You should rather find a way to get it sorted. When people come to us for counseling, for example, husbands and wives, my first question to them is okay. So kind of, size them up psychologically. I go like, now, what do you want to get at the end of the day? How do you see your family in a month? In a year's time? You tell me. What do you want to get from this discussion with me now, with us? It's like a blow unexpected. So with that, I try to understand actually what is in the head of the person. Is the person purposely trying to get out of the relationship? Or actually he is ready? And I'll ask, do you think, from a scale of 1 to 10, what are the chances of you getting back with her or with him? I ask that question again. From the answer, I will know where they are heading to. Know what is in the heart. And then, more questions comes up, then I will know how to handle the situation. If it's a case where the guy is like, I see that maybe he wants freedom, extra freedom, I'll tell you, my guy, it's not like that. It is wrong. You have to step it. You have to calm it, one way or the other. So, like, let me underline, the man, you are responsible. Don't run away from responsibilities. It's as simple as that.
What about actually somebody is saying something about you. Dayo Alabi is saying Kiro.
Dayo.
Oh, Dayo. Hello, Dayo. We love you.
Was she in Darko?
No, he's in Canada.
In Moscow
he
with
was
me.
in Moscow, yeah.
A very good friend, my classmate.
Very good friend, yeah.
Yeah.
She's saying, I've known you, Kiro, for years, and you have said exactly what I say about you.
Yeah.
That's right. So we have these books written,
These
it's
are
like
samples.
these are samples, we still get it done. As soon as we launch the book, we'll let you know it will be on.
We'll tell you the date of the launch.
Of the launch, and it will be on Amazon, it will be on Okada Books, and if you're here in Ukraine, you can lay your hands on them. And we're going to have series of these books, touching different topics, not just like generalizing, because we are getting feedbacks already. So
what about if people want to get in? You wanted something before that, though.
What did I want to say? Yeah, in Nigeria, some people are asking for my former book, Found by Mercy. Where is it? So I sent some copies to Nigeria. So if you want Found by Mercy now, at the moment, a few copies, just 20 copies are in Nigeria. I think 5 of them are already gone. So you write me inbox and I will, tell you how you can get it.
That's what I wanted to ask. People might want to come for consultation. Because a lot of people are writing me, and please, if you can help me.
People can write us inbox anytime. And
maybe
that's our calling.
Maybe email, maybe site. Maybe
we can start with even email. Then from there we'll choose the medium.
Is there any way to? Is the email easy?
Yeah. It's at the end back of the book.
Or what's your?
Or they can connect us on Facebook. And
what's your Facebook?
Yeah, OJIMADU.
Or this email, can you see?
Are you the only one? No, it's not this.
There are just 2.
Are you the only one?
Yeah, they'll find me easily here. Just only 2.
On Kiro OJIMADU. Kiro
Find
OJIMADU.
us.
Kiro OJIMADU.
Yeah.
Okay, and they could inbox you there.
Yes. Then from there we could choose the best mode of medium of
communication.
Yeah, and we have programs coming up live every Saturday.
Okay.
To talk about relationship. It's titled Relationship 101. So send in your questions, because next Saturday we had the intro last Saturday. Next Saturday,
is it live like this one?
Yes, live. Yeah. So throw in your questions inbox, and we answer any question that you want, and we go from there.
On what platform?
On Facebook.
Okay, on your 2 platforms, it comes at the 2.
It will be on hers. I'll let it to be
it.
on hers so that we get the people on one platform at the same time.
Okay.
So I really want to thank everybody who helped us put this book together, Pastor Sandey.
But what are the ideas of these photographs? They are unbelievable.
Yes. You see, like let's start with this. The first one. The joint book. As you can see, there are 2 pictures here. The one on the top left, that's the happy couple, portraying everything is wonderful. And now if you look down, you see the couple is raining. You can see that they are not happy with each other. A real life situation. They are quarreling, but the guy is still holding the umbrella for her, and he himself is under the rain. So that's what I'm talking about, the responsibility. Let me say it again, the picture down. You can see that the couple, they are quarreling.
No, full point. Can you? Yeah.
Here it is.
Okay.
The couple are quarreling. You can see that both of them are like frowning, not even looking at each other.
Yeah, because they are spying to each other.
That's right. And you can see that it's raining. It shows the rain there, portrays situation, trouble. But then the man is still holding the umbrella, covering the wife.
So even when the man has left the family,
that is it, Pastor. That's the point.
He still has the
responsibility. Even if he is quarreling with the wife, his responsibility still remains. The love still should remain there, no matter what. From here, when you get yourself settled here, you will always have this.
But your people are writing from Nigeria and saying this kind of love not be for Nigeria.
It is everywhere.
Uju and OJIMADU and Opala, they are saying that.
They are just joking. You people are joking because
We know.
No, because it's not familiar with the Nigerian thing. So how do we, you know, yeah.
I will tell everybody, sometimes.
But, this is what an average person in Africa would tell you.
Okay, that's right.
Like you are behaving like an Oyibo man.
It's not. I always tell people, say, look, you can't say this particular culture is the best. I'm from Africa. I'm still African to the core. Nothing has really changed.
And your wife is African.
My wife is
so
African.
So thank God you married to a white person.
Yeah.
You have said that's the reason.
So we came over here. We're in another culture. So we try to pick the best of both worlds. There are things we see here going on that in the culture that we don't like.
You are teaching Europeans too.
We are teaching Europeans too. Exactly. So, and there are things we've picked from them, for example. So it doesn't matter. The problem back home there in Africa is that people wonder what others will say. Public opinion. For me, public opinion is the opinion of those that we did not ask. Don't worry about public opinion. What my friends say. Well, all my kids, I would say, I'm saying this for the first time maybe here. Our 3 kids, their first words, the first words of our kids, usually every kid, their first words are always mama. But I have 3 kids, their first word was papa. This is true. I'm not bragging. I'm not joking about it. Papa, because I was there in the family. I carried them. I did the night shift every night. I had to let her sleep. I would wake up 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. to make sure the baby is fed. If I need to warm the baby food, and that's it. If I need to clean her up, maybe the baby has maybe pooed or anything, or wait, I do that. I let her sleep. If we're going outside, I can use the baby, crap. I can carry the baby myself. A friend of mine saw me, I was like, a man who carries a baby. I was like, it's not my baby. She carried the baby for 9 months. So can't I carry the baby for 2 hours? It's my kid. Please forget about that tradition. A gay man should not carry. Where is that from? We have to throw away the rotten eggs, in the whole set. We have to do it. And if I get back to Nigeria, I won't be ashamed to do it. I will caution anybody nobody should even tell me why am I doing this. Do I look like, they will say a woman rapper? Do I look like a woman rapper to you? No way. My responsibility. And that is why my kids are growing. My daughters are close to me. Please, fathers, be close to your kids. Fathers, be close to your daughters. They are growing. They need a mentor. They need a father figure in their life. Forget about what people will tell you. Oh, why are you carrying your kid? Why are you talking to your daughter? Why are you hanging out with your daughter? No, the love has to be there. You are your kid's first love, especially if she's a girl. Forget about public opinion. Do what is right. The society is teaching us a lot of things that are wrong, and they're becoming the norms.
But someone is trying to say here, Nikki Okoro, but the problem is that the Igbo culture kind of supports the husband to go make the money, but the wife is the only one staying at home, not the man.
This is 2016. A lot of women work now. Men work as well. So what should happen? The kids will stay at home alone? Or what?
Can I say something about this? Okay, even if the woman stays at home, does it mean she doesn't work? A woman that stays at home even works than a man that goes to work. That's so right. It takes a man of understanding when he comes from his office work or his business to help the wife. That she's staying at home doesn't mean she's jobless. Cleaning the baby, taking care of the baby from morning till night is a great job.
I'm talking about maybe making money. Maybe.
Yeah, but these days, thank God for internet. Any woman that calls herself a housewife that has a purpose can still work from home. But even if she doesn't,
staying at home,
it's full-time work. 24/7.
Unpaid, yeah.
So it takes a man of understanding to come back and still help that wife and know that you are bringing these children up together. And that's what my husband did and is still doing till today,
So the point is that, yes, the wife could be at home. Maybe she's on maternity leave from the first child to the second child, third child.
She doesn't want to work.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. It's all right, but it doesn't remove the responsibility. It doesn't mean that I should not be close to my kids. There are men who come back, they don't see their children. They come in, they go into the room, they lock up, they read newspaper, they do other things. Oh, it's the job of the wife to handle the kids. Okay, she might be doing this, she might be taking care of them, but it doesn't mean that you have to be absent. Some men are in their house, and they are absent at the same time. That's the point. I'm not saying that it's the man's responsibility to start mopping the floor every time, but no, he can help in the house, especially being a father to the children, being a father to the wife, most importantly, like I always say.
What about the second book?
Yeah, the second book is the one I wrote personally, mainly addressing the female figure, the women, the tricks and the tips that I use to make my marriage sweet, practical steps that you can use. But it's also for men that love their women, I would say, or some tips also for singles to know how to get to this.
What about the photograph here in this one?
Yeah, the photograph here shows how happy we are, because of the wisdom that we have.
Does it symbol a protective husband?
Right.
Yes, it does.
That is a
Standing
husband
behind.
that is covering.
Yes.
That is it as well.
Like a fortress, like a fort.
A fortress,
Yeah.
a foundation, a fort, and look at the face of the wife. She's happy.
Fulfilled.
Fulfilled, because the woman looks for protection. When the father figure is never there, the girls go outside to look for a father figure. It is very, very simple. It happens. So, men, please remember this. Let me go again. A woman is always looking for a father figure. As a girl looking for a father figure. If the father is not there, she's going to get a sugar daddy. Even if she grows up, a well-trained lady being protected by the father, when she gets married, she's also looking for a father figure in the husband. The sense father figure here means that same protection, that same endless love, that unconditional love. She wants to feel protected, know that she's going to have children in the future, and the future children are protected, knowing that, her future is there. Women, sometimes we are short-sighted. Sometimes women, it's there. When you meet a girl, you say hi, you start maybe going to a relationship. You are thinking of today. She's thinking of how many kids, the kind of house she might want to be comfortable and things like that. And this takes us back to the difference between men and women. That is the basics. Men, you have to understand who is a woman. People say it's very difficult to understand. They are difficult to understand. Well, they are.
But these books will help.
These books will help you. You will understand what is not understandable in the women in the same process.
So as we go live on this program, so we tell you the date,
Is it every Saturday?
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday we have the live program, and apart from that, on this platform, when we fix the date for the launch, we'll also tell you so that you support us with it, so that, we'll all come up together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I started saying, please, I still want to say a big thank you to Pastor Sandey for the training, for the knowledge,
Yeah.
for everything here. Pastor Bosse, the lovely Pastor, Dr. Princess Bosse Adelaja, for all what she's been doing for us. And we also thank her for being part of the launch, the fundraiser that we had this year. The NGO that we have, Maximum Living Care, this year we are trying to help children in Democratic Republic of Congo. The civil war is still on partially, a lot of orphans there. From this year, we've picked up 50 children that the NGO would sponsor, take back to school, provide education for them. Next year, we'll continue so that we'll make sure these children get the education that they need. Pastor Bosse, she was the kid, and she came over, she gave the keynote address, and we did the launching, and we started the project. Thank you, Pastor Sandey, also for everything, for always being there, And I want to thank Dr. Success, for also helping us get this book together. Doctor and Pastor Mrs. Uche, Lion Uche. We also thank you for your inputs. All of you, our families, our children, everybody.
A lot of the family members are watching.
They encourage us always. They're always there for us.
So loving.
They're so loving. They're always supportive. And if not for them, we wouldn't have been here, as good as we are.
Love you, Yuja, and your family.
Kiss
everyone for me.
But since Nkiru started, all these projects, since you two started this project together, a kind of fulfillment, a kind of transformation at that point taking place in the life of Nkiru. How would you explain?
Yes. When somebody truly finds his or her passion, you start shining, you know. You set a lot of goals. Like I said earlier, I lost 10 kg because I understood who I was. That wasn't my main goal, but I know that if I want to really fulfill what I'm called to do, I have to be healthy. I have to be fit to do what I'm supposed to do. So that led me into making a plan to lose some weight, 10 kg, and I still want to lose 5 to the end of the month. But that's not the main thing, just to make me easier.
You know, we African men, we are not so, me, I'm struggling with my wife, I'm always challenging that make you stop losing this weight, and I beg you now. I don't know if your own husband though, but sometimes we struggle, we don't want you to be too,
no,
I'm not going to be too skinny. No, I also know, she knows that I have to stop.
Yeah. They can control the loser. They lose it. So I don't go there too much.
Just a little bit more. I'll be watching it. Yeah. So when I started this, you know, really writing these books and the feedbacks that I get from this, the one that we published meanwhile, Found by Mercy. Oh my God. Just one note makes my day. The way it changes people's lives. What people write me that is because of this book they have found themselves, because of you wrote about me. You know, when you get such comments, it's okay, Jesus, you can come now, I can go to heaven, you know. You can imagine that's what writing a book does for you. And because I have this product on the hand and Pastor Sandey started these live programs, I already have something to present. And because of this, a lot of people even know who I am because of this book. Because he encouraged me to write it. You understand? So as you're out there, write books, sing songs. Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for Facebook. We have no excuse not to touch a life.
That's right.
Even when I started Women of Double Honor, as most people know, I started with my neighbors. I just knocked at their doors and said, let's go and have some tea, you know? And they say, yeah, Nikki, let's go. And that's how we started in my house. From there now, we found a restaurant. You know, every month we find a restaurant where we don't pay. We just sit, drink tea, talk, and impact lives. And lives have been changed. And my goal is not to gather crowd. My goal is to change a soul at a time. Even if at every meeting we just change somebody's life a little bit, that is worth doing. You understand? So don't say you don't have money, you don't have this, you don't have that. You know, you have everything it takes. Start from where you are. Start from your neighbors, you know, and you will see God putting things together to bring you to where you want to go. Right. And I want to talk Dr. Kiche, you know, one of our mentors, you know, he really imparts a lot into our lives.
Almost to every
He was the one that told me, Nikki, you have a flat, start from your flat. Because I was thinking, you know, I have to go and do this and get money and do the other thing. So, thank you, Pastor Sandey. Thank you, Pastor Bose. Thank you, everybody that, you know, is listening.
Talking about Dr. Albert Kiche, thank you so much. I say calling my roommate right from school. Yes. Yes, I'll tell you the story afterwards. He calls me roommates. We have names for ourselves. His lovely wife also. Yeah. A wonderful family.
Yes, I want to thank the wife for forwarding this book too.
Yeah, you know.
That's
it. And lastly, well, I will say what we advise or I'll also give to couples, like we always do and we believe in. Forgive before it happens.
Yeah.
Forgive before you get offended.
Don't even wait.
Make sure you've forgiven already then before you sort it out. That means...
Don't wait for people to come and ask for forgiveness.
That is it. As couples, don't wait. Make sure you're forgiving your wife for what she hasn't done yet. And the wife also forgive your husband also, even before it happened. Even for him, for being right even sometimes. You know, it happens. And because that is the end. You know, we are starting from the end. Because that is what you want. You want a happy home. You want to stick together. I call it a boat that is sailing. If you rock the boat, two of you are going to fall into the sea. So you have to have the synergy. Do everything together to move on. Forgive before it even happens. That's the advice.
Yes, that is why I support what Pastor said, you know, when he was coaching the women, that even if he came and this happened to the wife, you know, saw 3 or 4 men, you have forgiven before it happened. Life happens.
Much higher.
Yes, and this is the same thing I say about my husband. I don't care because most people are there they just want to, do away with you to be in your place. And because of
what, you didn't finish your statement.
I said that I don't care even if my husband, the same thing happens to my husband, that I see him with 3 or 4 women, which I know he will not do. But because we forgive
it doesn't matter. Even if
anything can happen in life, forgive before that, because forgiveness is first of all for you. Because as people say that if you don't,
you are not ready to have an excuse to lose your family.
Yes,
you are not ready to use any excuse to lose your husband.
Yes, no excuse.
You have given your word to God.
Yes, sir.
You have committed. Doesn't matter what happens. Anything can happen.
That's right.
So, but you know it's your husband.
Yes.
And you are keeping to your husband no matter what. So once you have already made that decision from the go, it means you are there for life.
Yes.
You are not giving room for it.
Yeah, so when we are saying that our marriage is sweet, it doesn't mean we don't quarrel.
Yeah.
We quarrel almost every day, but we quarrel and the next minute.
Because you are different.
Yes, we talk, we start talking about something.
You mentioned something like you don't want it to be more than how many hours,
not more than 5 minutes. We start talking about something else just to
come back to
come back to it later when we are cool, when we are head is
never more than 5 minutes.
Yes.
So
even
like
my children know.
Yeah, it's like forgive before it happens, in the sense that you've forgiven, then having that forgiveness in heart, you go back and get that issue resolved. Definitely. And when you know there's forgiveness in both hearts already, it will be easier. That contact will be there. It will be easier for you to get the issue resolved, no matter what it is. Whoever is wrong will, get himself, corrected, him or herself corrected. And it moves on. It's a boat. You cannot rock it. Rock it. My man, please. You're not going to lose your rank or your generalismos rank if you tell your wife, I'm sorry. If you are really wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's with your wife, you have to be, close, outspoken, get it out. Hear her out and say what you have to say. It's not going to be like, I said, and that's it. It should never be that way. Have your principles, get yourselves connected. And that's why it's also good, like Pastor Sandey used to always say, and I believe in, before you marry, you have to get to know the girl. You have to get to know the man. Getting to know is not like going to fornicate or what. No. But at least getting to know the character. I mean, is it worth it? Before you go far, if you believe it's not yours, please, it's better you leave it earlier. So those people who think, especially some ladies, believe that, I'll get married and life is going to be like I'm in chocolate, like they say in Russian language. It's never like that. There is no chocolate in marriage. You have to build the chocolate. It's hard work that has to.
It's 10 times harder than before you marry.
Yes.
And then 100 times more if you have children.
To maintain, and to have children. So it's not that easy. Marriage is hard work from both sides. And that's it.
That's also why I tell women that since we have different psychology with men are not, like I wrote in one of the programs, that men are not soothsayers. They don't read your mind. They're not mind readers. What helped me so much is that when I see something, he's not doing the way I want, I say, baby, even, for example, when I dress up, I'm going somewhere. My husband is not that type that will always give you compliments. And I know I'm beautiful, I'm fine. I dressed up, I'm really dressed up. But he's not telling me, baby, you're fine. I say, baby.
You call his attention.
Yes, I say, baby, did you see your wife?
Then I'll take the correction immediately.
Take the correction immediately. I say, okay, turn around, baby. And he gives me compliments, and I'll still feel the same fine. But before, I used to get angry. He didn't see me. He didn't do that. But when I got wiser,
inside yourself.
Yes,
that's right.
I speak out. Everything that I don't like, I say it. And thank God he has understanding. He said, I'm sorry. He taught me to say I'm sorry. I don't used to say even that I'm sorry. I used to be, oh my God. But thank God for they changed life.
Yeah, yes. We thank God. We thank God for what we have.
But that's why it's good that you are writing books on these things. And this, then you will be able to follow up information about the books on your Facebook page, right?
Yes, sir.
So that we'll know when they are coming out, how people could get them.
Yes, sir.
Well, people are a lot of compliments, and usually I will be reading the compliments, but I especially didn't stop you to read the comments. I didn't stop you because I know I want you to go to get out the information as much as possible. So we are now on 1 hour 40 minutes.
Wow.
So we'll read the comments later. Thank you so very much, everybody that is there. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much, Pastor Obi and Pastor Nkiro. Yeah, you know, I'm so satisfied, so fulfilled with this program. That's why I need people who can speak English more. Yeah, because, you know, I'm resting today. I'm not just resting, but you are telling, I'm not the one saying the principles again. You know, you people are sons. You are now carrying the message forward. You are now teaching the same principle without even me having to say anything. Beautiful, beautiful. And that's my dream. We must fill the world with the right seeds.
That's right.
Right songs with people with the right principles. And that's why you must continue doing those your videos. You know, both individual and collective and books, everything. You must keep on doing those things. And we need to fill the world with this truth. What they are saying that in Africa it will not. It's not, you know, we must prove to them that it works everywhere. Because these things are not Ukrainian principles. These are kingdom principles that even Ukrainians themselves are learning from us. So because we have submitted ourselves to God. And Nigerians, these principles will work for them too. Nobody will defile the truth. The truth is going to set all of us free. So thank you guys. And tomorrow we are starting a series for the girls. I want to talk to the ladies.
Oh, yes.
The men are anticipating that fired us, saying, why me? Why us? Why us? What are the ladies? So tomorrow we're going to get our pound of flesh. Just kidding.
The men have been expecting that and looking forward to that. But tomorrow we start in the morning, and it's going to be on this platform still in the morning. But in the evening, I hope we're going to be on the bigger platform later on in the evening tomorrow. So, but we'll be talking to the girls. But I'm not promising you that I'm going to be telling the girls about boys. I'm going to be telling the girls about themselves. And of course, talking to them about themselves will affect talking to them about the men as well. So you men that are rubbing your hands and thinking you are going to get your due, I'm not promising that yet. I just want to talk to the girls themselves for them to know how to survive. I was talking to the men this week, and it happened as if I was talking about the women. I was in favor of the women, but I was just talking to the men to know who they are supposed to be. And this week I'll be talking to the girls for them to know who they are supposed to be. So it will be exciting. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Good night. See you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, Pastor Nkiro.
Bye,
Pastor
everybody.
Obi.
Thank you. Bye.
Wow.